everyone, it's Nina. Thanks for joining me today for another video. Today I'm going to be sharing a card with you that I made using the Pinkfresh Studios STAMPtember exclusive set from Simon Says Stamp. And this one is such a beauty. It's called Edged Floral. And I thought it would be fun to make a clear card today. I haven't done one of those in a while, although I've done quite a few of them in the past, and I'll link to a couple as we're watching this video, some of the ones that I've made previously. But a clear card is such a fun way to add a unique touch to your design. So let's look at the stamp set first and then we'll make the card. So here's the stamp set. It's called Edged Floral. It features this really large grouping of leaves and flowers and then lots of sentiments that you can choose from. There are coordinating dies, and the dies do cut out that large edged floral piece, which I will use today in my card. I wanted to stamp my flowers with some ink and create a rainbow effect. And to help me do this, to better control the amount of ink that I'm putting down at one time, I'm actually going to use ink cubes instead of full-sized ink pads like I normally would. Simon Says Stamp's Positively Saturated inks come in cube size form, which is fantastic for working in smaller sections with your ink. And so especially when you want to create a blend of colors and layer them up, this is a fun way to be able to use these cubes. Now as I place the colors down, I am overlapping them just a little bit, just enough to get a nice smooth transition between each of the colors. And I have all the colors that I used listed below in the video description on the blog, but if you're curious, it's Cheeky, Peachy, Zest, Sprout, Surf, and Twilight. Those are the colors I used. And those cubes comes in sets of 6. Alright, so I stamped my florals and leaves onto some white cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and cut this down with the coordinating die. After running that through my die cut machine, then I brought the cubes back in and some blending brushes, and I'm just adding a soft touch of color on the very edges of my floral piece. And this is just to add a little bit more intensity for the color. I thought this would look really nice and create more of a glowing effect. So I used all those same colors to go back over each of those different sections of where those inks are placed on my stamp. And then that way I get that really nice tone-on-tone effect. But we still have the detail of the leaves, which is nice. Alright, I'm going to pull out this new die set that I got from Memory Box. This die set is called Fringed Scallop Frame. I just love this set because the scallops are accented with some really nice details, little dots and then little fringy pieces. It's so pretty. I thought this would look really nice behind my floral panel, and it's also going to be what's inside of my clear card. So I'm putting some tape on the back side of this and then lining it up on the front of my clear card inside first. This way I can then just lay the card down and press that closed, and that'll now sandwich it exactly where I want it to the interior backside of the card. I did trim my floral piece down with that scallop die as well, just to keep that same edge, and I glued that to the front of the clear card. So the floral piece is on the top, and then the scallop panel is on the interior. I'm going to stamp one of the greetings from the stamp set. I'm going to stamp this on the same white cardstock. I'll use a powder tool prior to stamping just to make sure I eliminate any of that static cling that might be on the paper. That way it'll help the embossing powder stick only to the stamped areas. So the embossing ink that I'm using is from Simon Says Stamp. Same with the embossing powder. This is their gold embossing powder. I've sprinkled that onto the sentiment, and then I will bring in my heat tool to set that. There are coordinating dies for some of the greetings in the stamp set, including this one. So I'm going to use the coordinating die to cut this out. I love how delicate this is. When it cuts out the sentiment, it cuts out in between all the different sections of the words. So it makes for this really pretty delicate die cut. I'm using tiny strips of foam tape on the back side of this sentiment to pop it up onto the left corner of my clear card. This is on the front part of the clear card. So as you can see here, that's on the front, and then there's nothing on the interior. Now I want to add a little embellishment, so I thought I would use this Whirl Dragonfly die from Simon Says Stamp to cut out some holographic cardstock. This is going to be an accent piece on top of our rainbow of florals. I also die cut the body of the dragonfly from some black cardstock, and then I'll glue these two pieces together. I just love the look of the holographic paper as the color for the wings of the dragonfly. Dragonfly wings are so unique how they catch the light, and so this paper just totally makes me think of dragonflies. So I'm going to glue all those pieces together with some craft tacky glue, but then I'm going to accentuate the rainbow holographic look of the wings by adding a little bit of glossy accents to the bottom edge of each of its wings, And then with some unicorn confetti glitter from Simon Says Stamp, I'll sprinkle that on top, and that gives me this gorgeous sparkle. So we got the holographic paper, and then we have the holographic glitter, which is really accentuating that sparkle look on the dragonfly's wings. So I'm gluing this directly onto my card panel. The dragonfly is sitting on top of the floral piece, and I just used some craft tacky glue in the middle and then 2 pieces of foam tape on the sides of the wings just to keep them lifted off of the card to make it look like it's flying. To finish things off on the front, I did add a few sequins here. These are from the Northern Lights embellishment mix from Simon Says Stamp, and I glued those down with some craft tacky glue. I just love how they have that same holographic finish, and that really ties everything together. It makes it look like the dragonfly's floating through the sky. So our card is done, and you could write your message on the inside, or you could write it on the back. And the back I always like to clean up on a clear card. See how you can see the tape here? I'm going to cut another one of those scallop panels, and this one I'm going to adhere to the back side of the clear card. So this is going to hide any of that adhesive. It also is going to make the card a little bit more sturdy, and it's giving you a place to write if you don't want to write on the interior. So you've got some options here. I just love how this looks. It's so pretty and elegant. This would make a beautiful card for somebody's birthday, or maybe a congratulations for somebody's wedding. I think it's a fun way to utilize this really large floral corner. You could have put this on either corner of the card. You can use it as the focal point like I did here. Lots of ways that you can use this set. It's such a pretty design, and I loved being able to create with this, and I hope you were inspired. Now, if you don't have this stamp set, because this is a limited edition STAMPtember exclusive set from Simon Says Stamp and Pinkfresh Studios, you can also do this same technique with other floral designs that you have in your stash. Maybe you have a floral background stamp, or maybe you have just some floral stamps and you want to arrange them in a corner and then ink them up with your little ink cubes to create the same effect that I did here. You can totally do this with other products that you have in your stash. So get creative. It's a fun technique to be able to use for creating a bright and colorful background. If you are interested in the STAMPtember exclusive set, like I said, it is only available while supplies last. I have it linked below in the video description as well as on my blog for you to check out. Thanks so much for tuning in for today's video. I hope you were inspired, and I can't wait to come back and share more with you all. But until then, have a wonderful day, friends, and I'll see you again soon.